There we go, let's have a look. Sun's going down, best time to get it. That's the Bellina Road, up over that way. Dargan. Bell Hill. All that sort of thing. So that'll be Bell Hill over that way. And that there is Hartley and Little Hartley. So hello to my YouTube mate at Little Hartley. I forget your name again. What's it? Peter, Cyril, Stuart, Mary, Kathy, Diane. I can't think of his name. Anyway, no, I'm being funny. He knows who he is. Anyway, was it Mary Ann Gilligan? I don't know. Maybe the skipper. Anyway, we're about to go up Mount Victoria Pass. So if you've never seen Mount Victoria Pass, let's have a gander. Now that sign there says 40 k's an hour. That means if you're driving a heavy vehicle, you can stay in second gear all the way down and all the way back up the other side. Now if you look over there, that's the old Great Western Highway on the other side of that other road over there. And it's sort of, this thing sort of chops them all the way through it. Look at those beautiful, big, beautiful mountains. This is the best time to film this because the sun's going down behind me. So if you ever want to come up here, look at these ranges. Look at this out. Check that out. That's Mount Victoria. I used to drive my big 10. Look at this guy, look. Bloke on a push bike. See the little orange thing? Yeah, he's riding a push bike. Silly bloody sausage. Bloody cable thing won't sit still. It's always the way when you're coming down a hill and you're trying to do something, someone's got to sit right up your clacker. They really just annoy me. Look at this, look. Look, see? He's riding his brakes. He's allowed to do 80 k's an hour and he's doing 40. He's a crawler. I call them cockroaches. See? He sees 40 for the truck and he thinks he's got to do 40 in a car. See? Now there's over on Jenolan Caves. That's the turn off there to that. So I just missed the sign catching on the camera. So there was a story there by Mr. Ballon. And I'll come back in a second. We have a thing over here, they don't like seeing cameras in cars. They get upset. Right. Anyway. River Let, L-E-T-T, River Let. Now this is the start of Mount Victoria. And there's a good little friend of mine who lives up here in Little Hartley. He done a video on this on his channel. What I'm about to show you. Let's go up here and have a look. This is the old Great Western Highway. Again, how can you tell it's the old Great Western Highway? Well, duh. Why else would they have a double line road going to nowhere? See where the double yellow lines used to be? Right. And this, look at some of these houses. This is what Little Hartley's all about. Some of these big, beautiful old houses up here, see? When I was a kid, I used to drive up here. This was the Great Western Highway. See? Look. Let's put the window down. Let's have a gander. See? Road closed. Now, could you imagine coming down here in a Kenworth truck way back in about 1978? Now look, you can still see the old double lines. Now for the dum-dums, who thinks, oh yeah, right, okay. Well, Why would they mark a yellow line on a dead-end road? No overtaking on the bend. That's right. This is the old Great Western Highway. And of course, I'm heading west. Straight. There's the highway down over there. Oop. Couldn't see where I was going then. Now, you imagine the differences and the price of value. These houses must have went up. Imagine the day when this here was operating as a Great Western Highway. Then all of a sudden it was closed off and the Great Western Highway went away. Because this bridge here is the bridge I used to go over. And look at that little humpy. Look at that. Imagine living in that when this was a Great Western Highway and a house over there. And you'd be lying here in bed, down here in this damp, little creaky little spot. And all you hear is trucks and Kenworth trucks all flying over this big old wooden bridge. Let's go and have a look. Let's really stick this out. Have a look at that. Look how old that is. Look, there's the black and white signs. Look at the holes in the timber. Now turn the motor off and you can hear the waterfall. Have a listen. And look, you can see cars go past. Watch. Geez, I love exploring the old Great Western Highway. So, could you just imagine being here the day when they come down here and they said, oh, we're going to open up the Great Western Highway, the new one. And they would have went up there and put the barricades up and made everybody go down the new one. And the last trucks or cars would have come down here after they closed it off, not knowing that they were the last vehicles to cross this road. And then the council come down here with a little crane, using that steel ring there and drop that barricade there, never to be moved again. But, you know, they would have built that little bit of concrete there with that ring in it, just to build it, put it there, to stop some idiot like me, 20, 30 years later, trying to drive over that wooden bridge. I'm an idiot, I wouldn't drive over it. But can you just picture it? See? And there, oh look, I can just see it now. There's the old road over there, look. It went over the bridge and it turned left. It's flat. Put my finger up, where is it? Oh, sorry, trying to get me. There it is there. Car's vibrating and I'm getting old. There's the old road. So it must have went at the bridge and then turned left. Like when they come down here. So there's the old road. Whoops, sorry. There's the old road. Turn around and here it is here, look. So now, can you just imagine coming up here on a Friday night, double yellow lights, and a great big huge truck comes down the hill with a trailer on the back and he's heading for that wooden bridge and you're coming over that wooden bridge and you can't pass him. Oh, how's he going to stop coming down this hill? Now do you see why they've made the big new highway? And I reckon these people's properties up here, I reckon they must have doubled in value overnight. You think about it. Listen to my car, look, still hasn't changed gear. Right? Just think about it. They'd probably come out here and pay $10,000 for it. Right? As soon as this highway here got closed, their value would have went up because they said peace and quiet. And then we said, oh, this is a lovely little kind of country little town. And look, here's another great bearded fella. There you go, brother. There you go. See, look at this. Look at the big old beautiful sandstone. Look at that. See, it's better now with the sun on it. Look, you can see it. This is where my little Yowie mate lives, up around here somewhere. He lives out here on a farm. Yeah. Now look at this lady here. Now there's something very famous about this. So the Hartley Historical Village. There's so many people are so impressed why this beautiful, look, there's the lady, look, she's taken a photo of a big beautiful sandstone building. Look at that. And people absolutely gobsmacked. Why would you build such beautiful architecture out here? Because that there is the old Great Western Highway. There it is there. Let's go here and have a look. Can you work it out why they built that there? See? Look at the cottages. Come on. Cast your mind back to 1870. 1870. Did we have cars? No. We had horse and sulky. So horse and sulky comes over the hill. And a lot of these houses here were taverns. And people could park their horse and sulky and spend the night. Because by the time they come from Katoomba and they got to here, over the hill and down the mountain, or even Mount Victoria, it was dark. See? So they had to camp somewhere. So they lived at Hartley. And then they went back down that road, over that wooden bridge, and then they went on to Lithgow, into the township of Lithgow. But remember, this is the original Great Western Highway. And I've said it before in other videos. The Bells Liner Road was the main trucking highway over the Blue Mountains before they built this road, because that wasn't there, and that's what the road was. Now, does it make sense? Well, the Bells Liner Road was the main highway. You come from Sydney and you come out along Old Windsor Road out to Windsor, up top of the hill where the new bridge is, turn left down George Street, Windsor. I sat there as a kid. There were 7 hamburger shops, and all the truck drivers would pull up there out of Sydney and buy their hamburgers. And then they go down the bottom of the hill, they turn right and go to Richmond. They drive down the main street of Richmond, and they go right down the main street, right down past Pew's Lagoon, or they turn left and then turn right down March Street. And then these big semis like that would go up there through North Richmond and go over the Bells Liner Road way back in 1971. What? Like the equivalent, 1971 Mack trucks. You've got to try and picture this. And then they go across here. From Richmond over to North Richmond, travel up the Corridor, and then go across there along the Bells Liner Road. Because it's a bigger, wider road. Because look at that road there, and what I just showed you in this video. It was too narrow for those big trucks. It was too narrow, too windy, and they couldn't get their speed up. But if you get on Google Earth and you look at the Bells Liner Road, you can see it rolls like a roller coaster. It rolls like my hand's doing. But these roads, it's like this. It goes round and zips and rounds and over that little wooden bridge. So what would you do if you were a truck driver? You'd go to Bells Liner Road. That's right. Come down into Lithgow, and that's why if you look at all the Google Earth pictures of the main street of Lithgow, you see all the old-fashioned pubs, and you see where all the truck drivers used to pull up there and have a meal. Now, a couple of videos back on my channel, I talked about my friend's old house that got burnt down, and there was the famous Pink Roadhouse. That's right, the Pink Roadhouse. Now, where that is from here, I'm looking at it on top of that hill, way up over there. And what it is, I go down here, I turn right here from Hartley, I go to Mount Victoria, I turn left, I cut over across there to Bell, and at the intersection of Bell and the Bells Liner Road, right, on that road, I can't think of its name, it might be Victoria Avenue or something, Centennial Road or something, I can't think of its name. But it runs from Mount Victoria to Bell. Right at that T intersection was called the Pink Roadhouse. Go down and look on my channel. My mate's old house, burnt house at Bell. And you'll see the big, huge concrete water tank. They made that back in the 1920s and the 1930s because Dad told me about it. He said that was there when he was a kid. Dad was born in 1928. So he knew it was there when he was a kid. So there you go. And that big pink, they called it the Pink Roadhouse because then it'd stand out, the truck drivers could see it. It was pink. And they come up there from Turrajong down the Bells Line Road, turn right on that big T intersection, and they could clearly see no oncoming vehicles. And turn into the big truck roadhouse, go and get a meal before they come down past Zigzag and then travel down into Lithgow, down through the main street of Lithgow. And then if you really want to see if I'm pulling your leg, look at the main street of Lithgow. It's made out of concrete slabs. It's not made out of tar. It's old-fashioned concrete. Right? But look, there you go. You can see the old double white lines when this here used to be the Great Western Highway back in the day. But the original Great Western Highway is that one over there because it's all the way through these mountains. All these beautiful old homesteads. So I hope I didn't bore the crap out of you, but that's why there's big beautiful buildings like this are here, because people would stop here on a Sunday and that was their local church, or probably. I don't know exactly. I haven't read it. You can Google it, have a look at it. Hartley, Hartley, and you see what it was there yourself. But look at these lovely old cottages. Aren't they beautiful? Look at that big rock up there. Imagine that fell on your lap. Ooh, that'd be painful. That is a big rock, isn't it? Did you lose your rock? I lost my marbles years ago. You know the old joke, lost your marbles? Yeah, losing your brain. Anyway, let's get going. We've got to go up Mount Victoria, yep. Now, big V8 1.4cc motor. And I'm putting the bloody window up. It's winter time over here. And it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And it's already freezing cold. What does that mean? Exactly right. Stop. And then we have a turn into lane. So you don't really have to look. So that means that other people don't hit you. Look at the V-Dub Beetle. Well, the old combi van. Man, I used to have one of them. Oh, look at that big old church. Whoa, that's a massive big church. Get on that, as I said, get on Hartley. Go have a look. Go and look at that big old church. So my mate out here at Little Hartley and the Jelly lives somewhere there near the lollipop. There's a lolly shop at Little Hartley. You go there to the lolly shop, you can leave a donation and just say that's for the Yowie boy out there at Little Hartley. Just kidding, he knows I'm pulling his leg. It's a private joke between two friends. Never met the guy. All I know is he knows how to drive a tractor like me. I got a 1953 Massey Ferguson tractor. See the concrete road? This is the original Great Western Highway. Comes up good on the camera because the sun's coming down behind me. Now I'm going to show you something funny up here. I don't think I've passed it yet. It's out of the way bus stop. Check this out. You see that? The bus stop. It's got about 30 stairs going up there to the bus stop. Check it out on Google Earth. There's a bus stop. Yeah, you got to walk up about 30 stairs to get up to the bus stop. Oh, sorry, by the way, Americans. We drive on the wrong side of the road, which is the left side of the road. Because you're always so right, you've got to drive on the right side, but we're backwards, so we drive on the left. So if we go backwards and you go forward, what does that make us? Just America, just Australian sense of humour. Here I come into Little Hartley. Where's my lolly bean shop? I should go up here and find this mate of mine and say, hey, where's my... I asked him one day, I said, what are you doing? You got cows and horses out there? And he said, no, all I do is grow fruit. So I don't know what sort of fruit he grows. Might grow bananas or something. No, it wouldn't be bananas. Apples, oranges, bush, I don't know. Maybe he grows kangaroos. So look at that, see? Hartley Fresh, whatever that is. Hartley Fresh veggies and whatever else. So this is just a drive to give you an idea how big Mount Victoria is. And we're coming up to the base of it. Now what I can't really do, and I'm going to say it now before we go, oh look at that joint. There's I'm going to try and put the camera on it. I've got to watch the road. I've got to try and turn the camera around and see, we've got plastic water tanks out here and all sorts of stuff. Adam's shed, his name ain't Adam. Where's that lolly shop? What's that say? Hartley Realty? Oh, sounds funny. Hartley. It's like hardly ever done anything. Hartley in Cox's River. COXS. And there we go. The lolly bug. Is it lolly? Yeah, lolly bug. Yeah, that's where he lives. He lives up there somewhere, up there in the foothills. Now, he's a YouTube friend. Never met him. Never spoke to him. Nothing else. Just leaves me a comment. So, you owe me a packet of lollies. Try again. Right, up here on the side of the road. Way back in 1870 was back up there at Bathurst, so it'll probably be about 1840, 1830. I'm putting a rough estimate on. The convicts were still coming up here because we come out here 1777, and then they went north first. They built the Putty Road, which is the first road to go to Newcastle. What? Sydneyite says, what? The first road to Newcastle, as I was saying earlier, went from Sydney out through Windsor Road, Old Windsor Road, Borkham Hills, and from there it went to Windsor, and then it went left out to Richmond, over at what's he doing? Richmond, and then it went down Old Currajong Road, and the first road ever to get over to Hawkesbury, and people want to argue with this because they look at the North Richmond Bridge and it's made out of steel. Well, they didn't have steel bridges back then, back in 1800, right? So the first bridge, which wasn't even a bridge, it was a track through the shallow water, was at Yarramundi and Agnes Banks, and then from Agnes Banks went on to the other side, and it come up in the back of Grosse Vale. Then from Grosse Vale, it went up Grosse Vale into Grosse Vale, right up there into Currajong. Then from Currajong along Comleroy Road as it is, all the way up to the corner of Comleroy Road and Blackson's Ridge Road. This is the very first road to Newcastle. I'm talking about Sydney to Newcastle. Agnes Banks and Yarramundi, right? Way out there. 1810, 1820. Then the horse and sulky were then travel because they couldn't get across the river, right? So they had to go up to the very shallowest part of the Hawkesbury River. Now look at the sandstone there. Can you see it? Look at that. That's a sandstone rock face. Look at this. Right? Anyway, so what they did, they then went across there, across Comleroy Road. Comleroy Road then comes down into Upper Colo. Upper Colo then comes down on the Upper Colo Road. Upper Colo Road then comes across the little wooden bridge, which then was shallow water, which it still is. And then from there, it went into Colo Heights Road. Colo Heights Road then joined up there at Colo Heights, which then turned left and then become the Putty Road. The Putty Road then all the way through Convict Road. Convict Road went all the way up there through Garland, Garland Valley, Garland Valley, Howes Valley, and then Convict Road, then cut out through the back, or broke, and then broke it went into Newcastle. So believe it or not, you used to leave Sydney, go over the Pyrmont Bridge, and then you would then travel Windsor Road, out to Windsor, out to Richmond, Yarramundi Lane, out to Agnes Banks, cross Gross Valley, up the Gross Valley, cross Comleroy Road, right down Comleroy Road, down the dirt, down the side of the mountain range, where it's been built by convicts back in 1810, and then from there, as I said, go down Comleroy Road, it would then hit the Upper Colo Road, then turn left into Colo Road to Colo Heights Road, and then up the Colo Heights, and then it formed onto the Putty Road, and then from there went out through the back roads of Broke, B-R-O-K-E. Then later on, they then forged the road to go out there through Dural, through Wiseman's Ferry, and the Convict Road come out from Gosford, and there's a Convict Road from Gosford that goes out to a town upstream from Wiseman's Ferry, called St Albans. Then where the water was the lowest at St Albans, the horse and sulkies could get across there before they started building the first timber bridges. And then that made it a lot shorter by about 300 mile, not kilometres. And then after that, then they started getting the road construction crews, and there's a video, and it says the Putty Road Construction 1940, and it shows them with big bulldozers making the Putty Road bigger in where the Putty Road never went, which is between, now you've got to listen carefully, between where the Colo Heights truck stop is, and you head towards Windsor, and it turns right to go down to Upper Colo. They then forged there with bulldozers in 1940 across the top where the three big power poles are, down into the Colo River. Then they built a wooden bridge across the Colo River, up the side of the mountain ranges, up there through the other, on the northern end of Blackson's Ridge, which is now the Putty Road as you know it, and eventually into Wilberforce. And then they built the now just recently condemned Windsor Bridge, made out of steel pylons. And that was originally built back in 1940, and that's why it's been condemned. And now they've built the new Windsor Bridge at Windsor. Now, a friend of mine was out there. He said, he was telling me, when they took the concrete off of the old Windsor Bridge off one of the steel pipes, like the pylons, it virtually fell over because it only had a very little bit of steel left at the base. It was sitting there under pressure from the concrete, and that's why it didn't move. And once they took the concrete away, it virtually fell over. And all they had to do was get down there with a oxyacetylene torch for about 3 minutes. They cut it and then they took it away. And you can still see that. Go out to Windsor, you can see it. I think it's the second bridge span from on the Windsor side. You see there's no pylon there. They took it away. A guy took it home. He took it home to his farm as a memorial. That's how rusted out that old Windsor Bridge was at Windsor. So, and of course, they built all this road here. This is the new Great Western Highway. Now, just here, I'm going to pull in, I'm going to show you the old Great Western Highway. See the rail over there? Right, let's have a look. Now, there's nobody behind me. I've got to do this very... I'm on the side of a motorway, but you can see there's cars coming. Right, nobody coming. Now can you see the double? Can you see the white line between the gate posts? Let's have a look. You see what they do, people? You don't realise this. See, they tear up the road so people don't go down there. They just get in there with a grader and they rip it all up. That's the Great Western Highway that goes down to Hartley. That is the original Great Western. There it is there behind the gate. Soldier's Pinch, they call it. Let's have a look. Probably named after World War II vets, I suppose. Right? See, it goes down around down there, and when it goes down there, it actually goes under this new highway. Now you're not going to tell me they built that there just to keep the wallabies out, right? Now grow a brain, be sensible. Some of this garbage, right? So wonder how many cars hit that in this lifetime. Poor lonely road. Now you think, why don't they come out here and take all this steel away? Well, you know why? Because it costs them more money than what it's worth to get money for it for scrap. They get $100 a tonne. How much would it cost them to come out here with blokes, rip all that out, and they'll probably be 2 tonne. They get $200 for all that, and it probably cost them $3,000 in wages to get rid of it. And then part of the old Great Western Highway is this, look. There it is down there, and then here it is, comes into here. Look. You don't put a guardrail like that there in a truck stop. You can see what it is. This is the old highway. They turned into a truck stop. I can tell you a funny story that happened here. All right, the funny story. See that fence there? Right. We come up just here. We pulled up here in the tow truck. And now, my Vector broke down. The truck driver said, I'm getting out to have a pee. So he got out, he stood over there to have a pee. I stood over here to have a pee. And young Wayne stood in the middle to have a pee. And of course, inquisitive Wayne, who's about 30 years of age with the brain of a 10-year-old, he decides to check out the truck driver and got a hell of a shock. He didn't realise that they made rattlesnakes on male human beings. Let me just put it to you that way. And of course he looked at me and just his eyeballs lit up. Because poor expression, as I call him, Little Wayne, if you get the joke. I'm trying to be private, personal, but not being rude.